Alright, hello and welcome to Echoes of Color with Jefferey Morrison. How's it going? We're going to do another whip and chat here with Paint with Diamonds. The Battle Ahead by Lothar Dietrich. 60 centimeters by 45 centimeters, 47 colors, square drill, and we'll slam a picture around here. I forgot to do that the last time, mentioned that I was going to put a picture in this location. Yeah, wonderful introduction, eh? I love it. Okay. So how's it going? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day and your crafting and other projects are going well. I'm fighting back a yawn here for some reason. No. That 6 to 2 shift at my part-time, yeah, takes it out of you. Get up early and then stay up late. Yeah, that Secret of Skinwalker Ranch and Beyond Skinwalker Ranch premiered. The new season and series premiered last night, so stayed up a little late. I'm used to staying up later. I'm more of a night owl kind of guy, but yeah, I was feeling it at 11 p.m. So, yeah. Yeah, so I guess there's a podcast that I'm presently meandering through about Bethesda's new space game, Starfield, I believe it was. Yeah, and there's mixed reviews about it. I think the reviewers received kind of like a beta test of the game or something. Yeah, it may or may not be the final version of Starfield, but yeah. Yeah, I guess there's a couple quirks still with the game. It's a pretty ambitious project by the sounds of it. It's just screaming No Man's Sky. You're basically exploring space, collecting resources, that kind of thing. It sounds like No Man's Sky, literally. So it's Bethesda's version. Yeah, it sounds ambitious and exciting, but I think they're probably dropping the ball there with some aspects of that game by the sounds of it. Oh, I've rolled the credits on this game already, and it's after 40 hours or something, and it's okay. I guess there's a main story or campaign or something. Well, we'll say main story. So it must have some specific goal other than just discovering planets or whatever, but I don't know, that for people who have played it according to this podcast, yeah, it's nice, but there's a big but at the end of that sentence. It's 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 stars, and it's just, yeah, this is great, but yeah, and then the core aspects of gameplay, they're just kind of going, not so great. Bethesda's the one that's done Fallout 3 and Skyrim, that gaming company. I've played a bit of Skyrim. It's just another one of those games where I'm just where am I supposed to be going? What am I supposed to be doing? It's kind of like me playing Ocarina of Time. It's it's just, okay, you finished the starting spot. Now you're out in Hyrule, and it's like, okay, save Hyrule now. It's like, It's like you have to go to certain places in a specific order to get the story going. In Ocarina of Time, Starfield. Yeah, it just sounds like explore space, but it sounds like there's some choking points that will kind of hurt or hinder the experience. I think they said something about inventory, like cargo holds. Like, I guess you can have a ship or something, a spaceship, and work various jobs to earn the currency in the game, kind of thing. It sounds pretty ambitious, but yeah, they're just going over all that. And as a game reviewer, you probably just have a very slight window as to how long you have to play, and you have a certain version of the game, if not the final version, so it may not be an accurate interpretation of the game, but they're saying that, hey, if you have an Xbox, whatever the newest one is, it's like, go get one. Go play this game. I think it's on PC as well. So, and I guess it sounds like it runs better on PC. Because the controllers, the Xbox controller is clunky. For control-wise. For the new Xbox, couldn't you just do like a mouse keyboard controller combination? Like, I think it's the Xbox Series X. I just have an Xbox One, so that's what I'm up to. Xbox One and 360, and I think I have the original Xbox. But I think that's a doorstop at this point. I think it died on me. Yeah, for Xbox, I've just played the Halo series, except for a couple of games. I played like the main number ones, but not Reach or anything. Yeah, I've played up to Halo 5 Guardians. Yeah. I think that's as far as I have played the Halo franchise. But hey, it was good. It was kind of one of my first person shooter kind of thing, and kind of got me into the genre. But I wasn't like, oh, Halo's the best thing ever to grace this planet. But yeah, it just kind of I wouldn't say cinematic masterpiece kind of gameplay, but I don't know, it just felt like a fluent gameplay experience. Even though Halo just kind of seems like you have a main character going through space and it's just fighting aliens, like, to be blunt, but I don't know, it's a game that just flowed, like it just kept going, or seemed balanced, but that's just me. I think I played like a graphically updated version of Halo or something. There was like an anniversary edition or something. It was a while ago. But that was back when I played video games like nothing for like hours. But now I'm just, yeah. Alright, I have to find capital G here. Which color that is. I'm just glad that I'm done the 310 in this for now. The next section there'll be more 310. But okay, 25. $902. Okay, got it. I think there's way more G's to fill in here. Yeah, I'll talk about video games every now and then, or just what I am remotely interested in via video games. I don't know absolutely everything about video games, but I just like hearing commentary and that kind of that kind of thing. It's interesting to see how what people think of new release games, kind of thing. And podcasts seem to be a fixing point for me to get like kind of insight as to what these games are like, even though I like don't have them. I don't have Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's definitely a Game of the Year contender, for sure. Final Fantasy 16, yeah, I've talked about it a couple times on here. I've heard snippets about what Final Fantasy 16 is about. It's like main character and he has a dog, or yeah, we'll say he has a dog, and the dog fights alongside you, I've heard. Just a party member kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy, yeah, they're on this action battle system, like real-time battle system, so I think active time battle, where it's kind of turn-based, I think that's going to be gone. Yeah, if you've played Kingdom Hearts, then yeah, it's like that battle kind of style, real-time battle, or you're just kind of button mashing. If you play Devil May Cry, that's the director of that, from that. So, yeah. Gives you an idea right away. It certainly drew a reaction out of people when that was announced. It's like, oh, it's gonna be an action RPG. Some people groaned. Ah, no. Ah, I hate action. I don't know, Final Fantasy in general has tried to do new things, trying to see if they can expand on how people play games, or their games. So I like action adventure games like that, instead of being in like a menu all the time. That's probably what Dungeons and Dragons campaign, like that tabletop game. It's probably just feels like you're looking at your character sheet all the time. This is like very limited knowledge opinion of Dungeons and Dragons. But I believe you have a character sheet, and then you roll a various dice or dies to kind of determine if you can complete actions or not. It's like open a treasure chest and you'd roll for, I don't know, dexterity or something, or just did you have a success rate high enough die roll to be successful in opening those treasure chests. It's like just those kind of actions in the game. Actions in the campaign according to the dungeon master, where whether or not you can have what's in this treasure chest. I don't know, I think it's a Dungeons and Dragons is a kind of tabletop experience where you play a campaign over time. It's not like you sit at the TV for like 80 hours and you're done the whole game, like in a video game. Well, that's over time too, finishing an RPG role-playing game, but or just a regular adventure game. You spend a certain amount of hours on it and you finish it. But I think through Dungeons and Dragons, yeah, you can have one campaign and it can last a really long time. It just might consist of a journey across the world that the Dungeon Master has built. And each character evolves over time, gets stronger as they go through the campaign. But yeah, a campaign can be a whole storyline or just an ordeal like in a forest or something. Yeah, it just all depends on what the Dungeon Master was thinking at the time, or what the thought process was there. That's literally like a drill, that dot. That was 25, capital G. Now, Dungeons and Dragons might sound familiar to some people. You may have heard of it in passing. It's been a tabletop game for quite a while now. It's kind of use your imagination, but there's a base core rule books that you follow to develop campaigns or participate in campaigns. Yeah, and a character sheet, so you create a character basically. And there are various character classes, and you just act as you just basically create a persona or avatar to be in the D&D campaign world, and you're basically telling that character's story, making decisions for your character and going through the campaign. Alright, 150. This is literally a drill. Oh, look at the drills. Yeah, don't know too much about D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, but it certainly has a fan base. Like, this is for like hardcore RPG enthusiasts. There's probably groups of people that have been doing campaigns for years. Or stuff comes up and, yeah, character that was part of a campaign suddenly had to leave or move on, or lost interest or something, or passed away, etc. And yeah, campaigns, D&D campaigns sometimes can just shut down or get forgotten about. Because interests change, or yeah, a whole bunch of myriad of reasons. So D&D campaigns can be great, but there's a time commitment. That's kind of like Final Fantasy 14 as well. That's the massive multiplayer online game. You need to spend way more than 70 to 80 hours on that game to make any progress, it seems. Like, it takes time for your character to level up, and in that game you can learn all the jobs just by yeah, choosing your initial class that you want to play as, but over time you can learn all the jobs and just based on making a costume change or something. Yeah, I watched a podcast or a review of Final Fantasy XIV, somebody's interpretation of it at the point that they were at. And I didn't know you could learn all the jobs. But you have to have like all the expansions and play through the main storyline and that to be able to do so. So yeah, man, I'm talking about video games today. I tried 14 a couple of years ago, Final Fantasy 14 on the PS3, I believe it was. And I just had trouble with the screen resolution, like playing off the PlayStation. You need a fairly powerful PC to get a really good experience of the online Final Fantasy game. For it to run smoothly, but I don't know, you can always turn down the graphics and that, but I'm sure it's pretty taxing on a PC. Alright, capital O. Yeah, Final Fantasy Online is a huge time commitment of anything I've mentioned. Dungeons and Dragons, yeah, you can set an hour or two on a certain day. You can schedule to play anytime when everybody's available, but if you're in a group, 21. Yeah, shades are red for the moment. Alright. Yeah, just there. So yeah, there's tons of conversations about topics all over, YouTube music as well. And then you go to podcasts, and this is where I've been kind of listening to podcasts. I think there's stuff on YouTube too. You kind of have to search it up and know what you're looking for in terms of podcast kind of information. Yeah, for the podcast kind of content, you can't seem to subscribe in YouTube music. You can like a broadcast and all that, but unless there's a totally different way to add a content creator to your favorites or something, I'm not sure entirely. I've just been like typing out Final Fantasy XIV online or Final Fantasy 16, that kind of thing, and then just looking for content that way, podcast content, or Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda. Yeah, just to get that commentary about video games, information. Yeah, there's some podcasts where they dive deep into the content of the game and probably like just do spoilers. The reviewers or whatever, who's ever on these podcasts, usually just get like an advanced copy of like said game that they're talking about, so they can like fully describe their experience. And this is usually before the game gets released to the public. So it's like, yeah, I rolled credits and the game's like not even out. And they're just reviewing it as a whole, and it's just like, ooh. Yeah, this one guy on my most recent podcast that I've been listening to has been reviewing games for like 15 years or more, kind of thing. And yeah, he probably has to, that's a time commitment in itself to just sit through an entire game, like finish a game within a reasonable amount of time and then just provide a review. So they have an opinion of the whole game in general. That if you get like a really boring game they have to review, may not be able to review all the games that you necessarily like, but you'd probably have to play through some pretty clunky stuff some of the time. In order to be able to rate the review. I think to a certain extent you'd have to be a little balanced, like not too personal, like unbiased really. Kind of. I don't know, reviews are supposed to focus on the content, not the writers or reviewers' thought on the content or the game or the movie. It's just how the movie was, not like what the reviewer thought of the movie. Or do I have this interpretation all wrong? It not supposed to be an opinion piece, but there should be enough of a viewpoint of the reviewer to just kind of give the reader of the article or review an idea or kind of a thought process of how the movie or the media content was. There we go. That was clunky. Not like I'm saying that you should just blatantly just read reviews and just make a decision from that. No. Sometimes you just have to interact with the game or the media product directly and form your own opinion, which has always been a thing. Like, yeah, it's nice to get a viewpoint on various subjects or topics or movies, etc., but just kind of going to see the movie or view it on Netflix or whatever, just kind of forming your own opinion, yeah, just seems easier. I think a lot of people do that, but some individuals can be influenced by reviews from somebody they trust, I guess. I'd hate to think that just going by somebody's review would deter somebody from buying a game, but it's a viewpoint anyway that some people do go by. But anyway, you've been watching Echoes of Color with Jeffery Morrison. Down below in the description I put my Conqueror and Pacer main website links and what I'm doing for each challenge. I just kind of started I put a note about my Facebook and stuff being hacked. It's no longer available, so any updates or section finishes like this one, which shouldn't be too much further to finish. Hopefully I'll just post progress on YouTube here. Yeah, that's about where I am right now. So anyway, take care, all the best with your crafting endeavors / hobbies, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.